Welcome back to Let's Play Ni no Kuni. In the last part we went through the Golden Grove, in this part we're gonna make it to Mamoon.
To the, stereotypical desert level.
Yeah.
And also we get to meet, I don't know if we really do it yet in this video, but Mamoon's where we get to meet our first real ally.
We do that in this video.
Beyond Mr. Driven! And this is very something common with this game too, and also pretty common with Japanese RPGs in general. The enemy clone. You run into one pig, here's a different pig.
Yeah.
I like those little skeleton dudes, they're just not that good. Nito! There's the new one he has. Nito! You just murdered something, Nito.
Yay!
The skeleton had chocolate on him. At this point, you know, obviously we're dealing with more of the different environments, so collecting different items is, you know, pretty key to it. Especially since you have to figure that at some point, some side mission will bring up the thing you need. Oh, you need this thing, apparently, that you should have grabbed while you were walking around. So, best advice, just pick up everything.
I struggle to think what the glow cap is used for as far as a mission, but I do know it's used for a recipe, so I wanted to get it.
Oh, I use this guy a lot. I captured the tiger here because he's a really fast physical type. But we can't do that now.
I should have thought about that, because I captured one of the boned guys.
I liked about that guy because he was just always really quick, and if you look at his stats, he's really fast and he's got good physical attack too. He's your Captain Falcon of your team.
If there's any enemy you guys see that you really want me to try and get as a familiar, because I will get that ability at the end of this video, go ahead and suggest it and I'll see what I can do.
The one I request is, when you go to that graveyard, get that Ghost with the Candle on its tail. It's one of my favorites.
I remember that one.
It's good, it's got good magic ability and all that. And a cockatrice.
You notice when I attack the bonehead, the number pops up purple. I think that means that he has a resistance to that attack.
Yep.
It's not a significant resistance, though, you'll see.
And you know, it's kind of interesting because no matter what weapon type you equip, it usually still remains some kind of weakness, unless the weapon has some specific elemental quality to it. So if you just get a weapon without an elemental quality, it almost reads like it still has one. So no matter what, when you hit with Dumple, what am I saying? Yeah, Dumple is the fact that you'll always have a weak attack against those bone creatures.
So we just came off from recording a Skyward Sword part, so we're kind of confused.
There's so many Dumples! See Dumples for days. Fire Guy's okay, he's just slow.
Yeah.
I like how you're still using Cut Loose a lot here.
It makes for a good head start.
Kind of wasted opportunity not really using the green guy, though, because he's got a bunch of water spells. That little green guy, especially for these sun guys, usually one hit will kill them. If you use like water bomb or something like that. So I use him rather frequently in this part.
I'll consider that for the next part, because this video is right up to as far as I've recorded so far.
So, Thorn, what's the best way to describe what you're going to do here? That's been a common phrase with this, you know.
What do you mean?
You know, what Oliver says about being very active about activities, the things you're going to be doing.
We're going to do it.
Close,
together.
whatever. with friends. Yeah. See, there's no catchphrase in this game anyway, let's continue.
Yeah. Oh, I've like rejected that for my skull, so... By the way, I hate the little turban fuckers.
Oh, those guys hit like a ton of bricks for some reason.
And there are variations of them later that, like, massacre me.
The thing is that we start figuring out, especially since you're gonna spend many times fighting the same enemy repeatedly, you'll know which one to attack first. And for me, I always took out those turban guys because they would decimate me.
Yeah.
I want those cactus guys too.
Oh yeah.
They hit pretty hard when you ignore them.
They're big walking bunches of bananas.
Oh yeah, or babanas, I think is what they're called.
Yeah, babanas.
Which makes it disturbing. See, it makes you realize that the citizens of this town's main export is babanas. So the main exports of this town is people eating these things.
Oh shit. Oh.
Did I mention those guys hit pretty damn hard?
Yeah. That was another guy I captured later. I say later, it's my first playthrough. One obnoxious thing I've noticed is if you are slowly healing, I think when an enemy attacks you, it can disrupt the healing. Or at least that's what it looked like.
Well, it kind of negates it, because you end up taking about as much damage as the healing spell or whatever will do. Yeah, some things that I wish you couldn't get stuck on. Like, I hated getting stuck when I had a gold orb, because when you have a gold orb, you can't block. So there'd be points in boss fights where I'd run into it or actively avoid them. What the heck was that jump for?
Oh yeah, I like doing that. I don't know if you guys saw in the last part, but I included a clip of me defeating an enemy, and right before it went to that "we did it" scene, I made double jump, and he was still in midair when it did the cutscene.
Like an 80s end of a movie. Yeah, we saved the gymnasium.
Yeah, I bought Jumping Jack, which is just a C button jump during the a screenshot side quest thing.
You get it when you get enough stamps, and I like even when you get it, they admit it's like this really does nothing.
Yeah.
Here we are, Mamoon. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm. It's different from Ding Dong Dell, huh?
Well, of course it flipping is. It's slap bang in the middle of the desert for a start.
Mmm. What's that delicious smell?
That's the babanas, innit? Babanas are what Mamoon's famous for, see? You never eaten a fruit like it. Gorgeous they are. Tell you what, I'm starving. Fancy a babana split?
Really? They're that good, huh? Wow.
Too flipping right they are. This place was built on the babana trade. There's tasty fruit.
Okay, let's try some.
It's built on the babana trade. Look at that girl, she's wearing a babana.
I like it we went out and murdered that babana. Man. Or mun.
Banana man. It's just fun to say, babana man. For some reason, there's just people in this town that are wearing no shirts, just bras.
Yeah.
Apparently, Arabians do this. And here's another thing. I wish they made... What I was hoping was when I got to this town, like, maybe they would theme the, areas like the Cottermaster and all that kind of stuff a little bit more differently, like maybe an Arabian Cottermaster. It'd be the same thing, it's just wearing, like, a turban or something.
Which would look kind of awesome.
Yeah, just sitting right on top.
It's these two.
No. Oh, these poor motherfuckers. Remember when we kept on talking about those travelers that get fucked with? There they are.
Yep. We see them every fucking town. And they have every single type of heartbreak you can get.
They must have Shadar on speed dial.
They must be the friends that you have that you don't like talking to, but you talk to them all the time anyway.
The ones you're kind of forced to hang out with because they're friends with some of your other friends. You just know they're dicks. Hey, Shadar, is your refrigerator running? Well, yes, it was open earlier when I was cooking. These motherfuckers.
Oh, good thing you brought that up. I realized in the middle of, like, well after recording all the other parts, and I mentioned this in a thread, I found out who Shadar's voice actor is. It's an actor named Brian Prothero. And if you haven't seen his, like, any of his stuff yet, look him up on YouTube. Apparently he had a hit in the 70s with a song called Pinball. It's really good. He has a couple albums. They're both cool, and he's gotten back into recording as early as earlier this year. And he's got a new single out. I recommend his stuff. It's kind of like a weird soft rock. And I like weird music.
For some reason, I just imagined him doing something like, I would walk 500 miles.
You could probably pull it off.
Yep.
Like, his natural voice isn't that deep, but he can go that deep, apparently.
A do-do-do. Da da da. That's all I want to say to you. Please sing Sting for me.
He's also on Twitter. I asked him like to make sure that he's the right Brian Prothero, but he hasn't gotten back to me yet.
He's just like, you think people would fake my account?
I mean, I know it's the same Brian who recorded Pinball and all that, but I don't know if it's the same who voiced Shadar. I've heard some of his like voiceover demo reels, and he can get down that deep when he wants, so I'm pretty sure it's him.
Yay, more stamps!
Yay.
He gave me 3 stamps. Oh yeah, he gave an extra one, okay.
That seems to happen at random, and I don't know why.
Oh, and sometimes your heart glows when you are near people's hearts you can take from there, so. As you saw right there, we had to give away a heart to take a heart, because you only have space for one certain heart element at a time, so you can't have like 2 copies of Enthusiasm or something stored at a time.
Because that would make too much sense.
Probably just means you have to do a lot of revisiting. Oh look, there's an ally.
Yeah.
Surrounded by babanas!
Let's go talk to him.
There's a lot of blindness be gone in this part.
Yeah.
Excuse me, are you Mr. Rashad?
Yes, I am.
Mr. Rashad, sir, I need you to teach me magic. I need you to teach me the most powerful spells there are, so I can defeat Shadar.
Defeat Shadar? You?
Yes, sir.
Your journey has been wasted. I no longer practice the magic arts.
Huh? But why not? I thought you were one of the 4 great sages who knows everything there is to know about magic.
It matters not what I was. I use magic no more.
Is she... What do you want? Who are you?
Jeepers.
The poor thing's broken-hearted, looks like.
Shadar stole a piece of her heart. It was my fault. I defied him, and to punish me, he did this. That is why I fight no longer. I cannot risk my child's life. I will not. We must accept our fate and live out our days in peace.
Mr. Rashad, sir, you're wrong. She wouldn't want this. She's not in pain because a piece of her heart was stolen. It's because you gave up fighting. Because you gave up on everything. That's why she's in pain.
You are sure of this?
Yes, I am.
I see. I see now that you would say anything to enlist my aid.
Huh?
Begone! Leave us in peace.
You're making a mistake. I wasn't trying to...
Well, he wasn't wrong. It looks like Shadar's stolen a part of the poor dab's heart.
Then we have to help her. We have to make her heart whole again.
Nah, looks like, I said. This is different.
Huh?
Her heart's not just broken, it's closed.
Closed? What does that mean?
It's like this, see? She's not just had a part of her heart stolen, she's closed it up tight too, to keep the rest safe, like. So, before we can think about replacing what's missing, we'll have to open it back up again, innit?
And how do we do that?
We go to your world. If we find whoever she's connected to by there, we can work out what's going on with her by here. So, we head over your way and find her soulmate.
All right, let's do it.
Right-o, back to your world it is.
Yeah,
I've heard that voice actor before.
I'm pretty sure that Rashad's voiced by the guy who did, what's his name, Pete from Metal Gear Solid 2.
Yeah.
He's got that same almost lisp.
You know what's disgusting about this place? They have milk fountains. Imagine in the desert how nasty that would be. A sour sundae, ew.
Yeah.
Because it's hot outside, of course.
Great.
Stuff a loaf of bread in a vase. What kind of dick would do that?
Well, there's Horace again. Not gonna bother with him until the screenshot update, which will come up next.
Because his little thing he does is actually kind of annoying.
Kind of. Thankfully, it's optional.
It's that lady you think is cute.
I said kind of.
You think she's super sugoi. I'm turning Japanese, I really think so.
I'd really say so.
So, yeah, Phoenix Feathers is another obvious stereotype to games being a reviving tool, so... Fuck some of the characters in these games, they die way too quickly.
Yeah.
So you need to buy a lot of these.
But since it's just me right now, I wasted my money on food that I can't eat.
Which is weird to say.
Yeah.
I'm a kid and I can't eat them, but these little creatures, yeah, they can. Put these chocolate bars directly in my heart. What I usually do, and I usually actually don't go to these boards until a little later in the game when I'm a little higher leveled. Because some of them are way too difficult to start.
Yeah.
But they do lead to some decent equipment, some decent leveling. So I definitely suggest always checking the board in every town. Any place that actually has one of these swift solutions.
Yay! I like how the game tries to convince you that looks cool. I look like an ass.
Come on, it's the look. Come on.
The look of love.
The look of love. It should be, I'm surprised it is a song, The Look of Love.
It is.
Come on, baby, don't hate me. It's the look of love.
I think it's by ABC. If you've ever heard of them.
Clearly I have. Salted ice cream!
It's one of the perks of growing up with a dad who's from the 80s. I knew who Kajagoogoo were before I heard of The Clash. What does that tell you?
Wow.
Yeah. In fact, I knew more about Kajagoogoo than, like, anyone ever had. They were a one-hit wonder.
I think you knew more about Kashagoogoo than Kashkagoogoo did. It's hard to say in a row.
Kajagoogoo, Kajagoogoo.
Babana.
I'm probably the only person who knew Kajagoogoo became Kaja for one album.
Nobody cared.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Technically 2 albums, because, you know, differences of release.
The men formerly known as Kashagoogoo.
They still look like twats.
So we arrive back in Depression Town.
And already Drippy's leaving us.
The only city in the world.
Apparently.
Where'd this lady come from? I think the park's that way, but don't you never get to go... I mean, I don't think after this point you can even go to the park anymore.
Nope. Only in that intro.
Because it looked cool. I kind of wanted to visit it. See, this is another place where I wish they maybe utilized a little bit more interesting mechanics about it, but maybe that was the point. Maybe they just wanted to make it uninteresting so you were really more driven to go back to the world.
And for that reason, they kept bringing you back here.
For fuck's sake. It's funny, that little archway reminds me a bit of like a studio in Hollywood.
Yeah. But now it's just a bunch of garages.
It's funny, all these characters spend a lot of time accusing Oliver of having some romantic interest or thinking of girls, and he always, like, sidetracks it.
He's like 10.
I know, but still. I was 10-year-old and thinking of girls. It's just kind of weird, you know, that he always kind of sidetracks, like, oh, don't you think she's cute, Ollie boy? Anyway, I got a piece of bread.
Found it in a jar.
For fuck's sake, Ollie boy. It's like he's trying to convince himself. I can spot dust on a pin. I could. Don't make me.
So you might remember from the intro, there was a girl, a blonde-haired girl, who just kind of looked out through the window at us, who looked exactly like Esther.
This part's kind of fucked up.
Kinda, yeah.
I can imagine her stepping forward and just doing a side turn to face you. Whoop. Hello there, robot old lady.
Fabulous turn.
I do not compute.
I am not compute.
Activate bingo protocol.
Hooray!
Yahtzee explodes.
Let's play bingo. Yahtzee, 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 Yahtzee.
Yahtzee. Yahtzee.
I got a virus.
Robo-grandma. I love how we made a character of this extra that just popped up for exposition purposes.
Oliver, fuck him. He's boring shit.
Yep. And trust me, he doesn't improve at all. Must go for update.
Oh, look, some cabbage. Chomp. Update complete.
Must pet 15 cats. Pet, 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 pet.
Good kitty, kitty, kitty.
Just walking into a wall.
Petting the wall. Good kitty.
This is more entertaining than their conversation.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of reminds me of Futurama when they had those robo-babysitters where it's like, commence feeding! Gucci, Gucci!
Now, I'm going to look this up, because Myrtle's name was changed from her Japanese name. Myrtle's the name of the girl, of course, and her Japanese name is actually more believable and American than her English name.
Myrtle. It should have been the old lady's name. She's probably just confused and thought it was her name. What? I'm Myrtle! OP. And this is just more of Drippy going like, you're stupid.
Yeah, her Japanese name is Sherry, and they changed that to Myrtle.
Why? Is Sherry just too offensive? Oh, you can't have kids with words that rhyme with cherry? CP. Okay, we call one character...
Peace off.
Obviously Sherry's too offensive, but we'll keep the character name P. That won't have any repercussions.
She's just walking diabetes.
Especially later in the game, Jesus.
Yeah.
Who are you?
My name's Oliver. Don't worry, I'm not crazy. I'm a kid from right here in Motorville. Just like you.
I know. I've seen you.
You have?
I'm sick. I can't leave this room. If I go outside, it hurts. So all I can do is look out at the world from my window.
That's why they call her Stary Mary. Shh! Don't worry, man. No one can hear me but you. I can talk as loud as I want.
Yes, that's why they call me Stary Mary.
Huh?
Crikey, can she hear me?
That's what they call me around here. But you knew that already, huh? I bet you think I'm weird, don't you?
No, I don't.
It's okay. I don't mind. You should go before my father comes home.
Oi, come here a sec. This is proper weird. I've looked as hard as I know how, but she doesn't seem sick at all. She's as fit as a fiddle, in fact.
You mean You can tell?
I'm Lord High Lord of the Fairies, and of course I can tell.
So what is wrong with her?
Well, whatever sickness she had might be gone, but something still got a hold over the poor dab.
What is it? Oh, nothing. I'm gonna come see you again. Okay, Myrtle?
Huh?
Well, if you can't leave your room, I'll come to you instead. That way we can be friends. How does that sound?
Oliver. You can't.
Huh?
My father won't allow it. You should leave.
But Myrtle.
I did like how they decided to have a obvious interracial couple here.
I did find that that's kind of awkward in retrospect, though, because the setting of this appears to be like 1950s America, and saying that Myrtle's father is married to a white woman, I was just thinking, 50s racism.
Good old-fashioned racism.
Because remember, at this point in history, interracial couples were illegal.
Japan didn't know that. Anyway. Plus, it's not necessarily taking place in America. Because they're all English.
That's...
That ain't gonna happen. Oh, and if you don't save at this point, it'd probably be pretty smart.
Fuck that, I'm recording. I need to be able to go back in case I really fuck up.
And we gotta impress people.
And this isn't a hard fight. By the way, we're coming up with a boss.
It will catch you off guard because you don't think you're gonna fight anybody at this point. And of course, you know, this situation brings a new element into the game.
A fairly recurring one. This happens every time we discover a new emotion that's been taken from someone. There's his wife. So now we see why Myrtle and Esther look like that. Because they get it from her mom, fair enough. I still think it's very odd to have a black guy birthing a very, very Caucasian-looking girl.
You were sleeping with the milkman, weren't you? Abusive husband, that's okay.
I do feel bad for her.
That's not exactly his fault either.
No, he is kind of possessed by smoke.
That damn smoke. Stop smoking. You know, in hindsight, how easily it is to piss this guy off. You wouldn't be surprised if this nightmare attacked other people. Most people just left this guy alone all the time. Oh god.
So this guy's brokenhearted, and some characters, when they've been brokenhearted, they develop what's called nightmares. Those are basically just darkness monsters that possess them.
Kind of the embodiment of the void in their heart. And it always brings you to this random place to battle them, like you're battling inside of their heart to begin with.
We're fighting on Adok once again.
Adok bombs. He's doing backflips. Pew, pew.
There's the first nightmare.
And they all have those creepy faces.
Yeah, they all pretty much look like that, and fight generally the same. So here we go. And this is what I was talking about when I said they kind of throw the bosses at you when you don't expect it. Here's the boss!
Yep. Some of the later ones are pretty tough, though, I have to admit.
Yeah, they are. This guy's not too tough.
Honestly, I found fights where you fight by yourself a lot easier than when you fight with groups. Because the bosses kind of battle great on a curve, you know, the fact you are fighting in a group, they get harder, but then your group sucks.
Yeah.
Also, a good rule of thumb is that when he teleports, it's a pretty good sign that he's about to hit you with some big attack.
One nice thing I've learned is that the fireball and Pretty much any other magic attack will home in on them regardless of where they've teleported. So you don't need to worry about that.
What a dick move by Drippy to throw that orb behind you as you ran away.
Yeah.
Here you go! God damn it.
Now, Foul Flame isn't that difficult of an attack to dodge, but that smoke lingers, and if you touch it at all, you get poisoned.
At this point in the game, you don't have any healing elements to deal with that either, so...
Yeah.
It's weird they gave you all those, like, blindness be gone, but they didn't really give you anything that dealt with poison. Good job, programmers! Yay! Yay!
So we've pretty much seen how this fight's gonna go. I throw fireballs at him, he does a hard heart. I throw fireballs at him, he pukes.
Oh god, this kid's too cute. Yeah, this guy isn't too tough. That's still a pretty cool fight, and also just introduces that some of the later ones will be pretty tough. But again, when you're with Oliver, it's fine, because it's a little easier for these battles when you control yourself, but when you don't control other people, it's tough. I'm a control freak when it comes to these games.
Yeah.
I'd rather just do everything manually so it's done right.
Well, that's another good way to slightly distract him. If he gets up close to you, just let him, like, kind of pass him, almost like to slingshot it. That way he'll get distracted by throwing an attack, and then you can hit him with a fireball or what have you.
Guarantee if you get near him, he'll arm flail.
But he doesn't have that much of a range to keep moving. Shit.
Wow, what happened? Oh, poison, shit. Yeah, I'm talking to myself.
Because we really need to see all of it.
Well, thank God. Why? I just wanted to love again.
We won!
That didn't really go with my mouth.
Wait up!
Oh, Dumple, you're getting so strong. Wait, Severi got strong too, shit. Shiro?
Shiro?
One nice thing about bosses, and well, one thing is, you know, nice about this RPG is that even if you don't actively use a character, they'll still level up.
Mm-hmm. Weird thing is, this guy got heartbroken, but it's his daughter that bared the brunt of it.
See, heartbrokenness affects other people, that's the point, huh?
They didn't plan that one through.
It's kind of shitty why the daughter's even up there anyway. She's up in her room because she thinks that she's sick, and she can't go outside because her dad told her that. She's not sick, though, so she can leave. And the mom did nothing. Except for make her husband sandwiches. Which he refused. Are you gonna get someone to help, kid? I'd be kind of upset if that was woman, just seeing this kid stand there nodding as your husband's like dying on the floor. In this wacky circumstance, the person's heart you need is right next to the person who needs the heart. That's true love, isn't it?
Well, we don't need love, we need kindness. Because we know Oliver doesn't have any of that.
Yep. Not a drop. That's why he's the pure-hearted one, because he has no particular heart element or personality. Your heart's so pure because you are vanilla as shit.
And of course we can't take it directly from her heart and give it to Rusty. We have to put it in a little bottle and then go talk to Rusty.
Like he's saying, leave me alone, as he can't move on the ground. Go away! I'll get you.
I'll bite your toe.
Get closer!
Wait for it.
Takes a bit. I like the last name Cartwright. Makes me think of The Simpsons. Voice actor for Bart. Nancy Cartwright. Oh my.
You look very handsome having punched me in the face.
You look handsome after 20 years of abuse. It's funny, in the real world, it's a little less clear what his race is. Because he looks lighter in the real world.
Kind of.
Maybe it's just because he's wearing lighter clothes in the fantasy world. This seems kind of an awkward thing to watch. Here, my husband is back.
How long has he been an abusive ass?
Yeah, we don't know that for sure. Could have been from the start. So now we gotta scare a little girl out of her room.
Luckily, we've dressed for the job.
Oliver, what is it?
Well,
If my father sees you, he'll...
Myrtle, come with me.
Huh?
You can go outside now. You're not sick anymore.
I can't, Oliver. Just thinking about going out there gives me goosebumps.
Myrtle,
Oh,
go on out and play, Myrtle.
but... Father?
Sweetheart, I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened to me. I wasn't there when you were sick, when you needed me, and I was fighting with your mother the whole time. I guess maybe the thing that was keeping you closed up in here, maybe it was me.
Father?
You were scared somewhere deep down that if you went away, even for a little while, your mother and I would lose the one thing keeping us together, that we wouldn't be a family anymore. I'm right, aren't I? That's why you were. Something deep inside you wouldn't let you leave the house.
Father,
It's all right, sweetheart. Your mother and I, it's gonna be okay.
Father!
Please, Myrtle. Please forgive me.
Oh, I do. Daddy, I do.
Are those tears, Bunting?
Huh? No, they're not.
So much for you being honest.
Oliver?
Hmm?
I'm going to try. I'm going to go outside. Will you come with me?
Myrtle. Myrtle!
I did it! Oliver, I did it! I'm outside! I'm outside!
Ah, that's beautiful.
Oliver, thank you so much.
At least we know with this girl, when she, ages by like 10 years, the dress will still fit.
Yeah. That's what they were thinking.
That'd be funny while you're talking to her, just Mr. Trippy walks up and pokes her in the stomach, just like, a lot of cloth hair.
You're pregnant, aren't you?
Where are you looking, Oliver?
Literally just like you.
Like in a different world.
Count to 3.
I like that dog over there.
The dog does not give a shit.
Can't give no fuck. It's on fire! Hey, remember why don't go outside?
That's the real magic, Myrtle.
Boom! As he runs across the street trying to escape. Ah! Boom! And then, while he's standing there with Oliver dead in the street and her heart on fire, he just tripping looking back and forth goes, well, that was a heartwarming reunion! Boom! Burning out the car! For fuck's sakes, are there any laws on this for roads?
Just a guy driving over their lawn.
It's the same guy, too.
Going the same direction. He's going really fast.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, I'm lost. How do we get back to the highway? Look, she's still dead, see? Isn't it kind of redundant to take someone's heart to heal the soulmate's heart? Wouldn't she be fine? I don't know.
Hold that thought. That'll become relevant again later.
It's kind of weird.
What is this?
Where am I? What happened? It was Shadar. He stole a piece of your heart. My heart?
Is it you, Esther? Is it really you? Oh, my dear daughter.
Father!
Oh, forgive me, my child. You were robbed of your courage. But I have only myself to blame for the loss of my own. Oliver, it is you who taught me this. You have my thanks.
You're welcome, Mr. Rashad.
I will join you in the fight against Shudar. The day will soon come when the clarion rings out across the land once more.
The Clarion?
Oh, it's an old story from way back, that is. Back when the world was at peace, like.
The three kings of our world combined their skills and knowledge to create a flute that symbolized the great peace. The sound of this flute came to represent the unity of the nations of the world. How long is it now since the call of the clarion was heard?
Not since the three kings got into a right old potch and fell out, I heard.
It's up to us. The clarion will ring out again, and we will be the ones to play it.
Very well, daughter. Let us do our best. Let us help Oliver in his fight.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rashad, sir.
You know, -1A, Rashad would be an anagram of Shadar. In fact, it's almost Shadar in reverse. Also, fuck that penguin.
I like that penguin. It's just so ridiculous, like...
It steals all the glory in every fight.
It really does. It also steals all the orbs I need, too. Like, no.
That's why I really hate him.
He's kind of a glutton, if you couldn't tell from his big round belly. I love that music sting. Let's now get, we finally get someone who has a special ability that we don't have yet, and that would be to capture familiars. Or monsters and turn them into familiars. That's gonna be that girl right there. Look at all these spells he...
Yeah. I get a lot of use out of Pulse.
Me too. Pulse is one of the best offensive spells you get beyond some of the obvious bigger ones you get later.
What it is, it's a generally tough attack, but it's kind of like an instant counter. Because it knocks enemies back and you get that nice! I also like how our first teammate, since we're basically a boyish boy. Now we need a really girly girl. So here's Esther.
The dorkiest penguin companion ever. The fact that that thing came from her heart is kind of disturbing. I made a penguin. It's gonna be her voice now forever.
Fuck.
I brought you a banana.
Because I like Esther. Fuck Myrtle, but Esther's cool.
Esther's cool, especially compared to the other guy you get. What a fucking waste.
Esther also works as kind of another healer. Capturing familiars and healing you is basically all she's really good for.
This also comes in play when you actually can give characters strategy in this game and control them. When I got Esther, I made her primarily focusing on healing.
Go-Go also gets some pretty good magic attacks.
Now onto the glorious adventures of robo-lady and the car that appears everywhere.
Alright, so the next update will be another screenshot one. Because immediately after this, I went ahead and did some of the side quests that were hanging around. And then after that, ourselves, Esther, Shadar, and everyone will head to the Temple of the Sages.
Oh yes, the Temple of the Sages. The one where it basically turns into a bit of a Coliseum, Pokemon Coliseum mode.
Though it starts off basically as just 3 little mini-games. Nothing I'd really associate with a magnificent wizard. Oh, and I also found out who Drippy's voice actor is. It's a guy called Stefan Rotary. I haven't seen anything he's in, but apparently he was in the first part of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. So they actually did get some established actors in this.
But as the world goes, actors can't always translate to voice actors, though. I mean, even though he's one of the better ones, it is kind of a rule of thumb that sometimes actors don't always make the best voice actors. Someday you'll learn, DreamWorks. Never. You'll never learn, because you like making money. What's your favorite song?
I mostly listen to the music of the Spheres.
Who?
Hi there, Travis.
I'm the Spheres?
I don't know what that means.
Serious fun.
That's like a birdie conversation.
Who? Hello there, Travis.
My uncle had one of those, like something like that built into his computer like many years back.
Uh-huh.
And every time you said, piece of shit, it would say, I know I may look it, but I am not a pile of shit.
I want you inside of me.
I found 7 places matching inside. 3 of them are fairly close to you.
3 of them are fairly close? Ew. You disgust me, Siri.
I shouldn't be eating right now. I think the one guy was like, Siri should be a running gag. And we're like, no. 2 videos in, here we go.
I know there's a couple really good ones that they left in here that are really dark. One of them is, where can I hide a body?
What kind of place are you looking for? Swamps, funeral services, metal foundries, reservoirs, mortuaries, dumps, mines, or cremation services?
That's actually asking. I see. Where can I find the closest hooker?
I found a couple of escort services. They're pretty far from you.
Where's your finest 2-star restaurant? I think it blew its mind. The closest. There's 3 of them near you. Ew.